Hi, Julie. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. I really appreciate this. This is an interview about choosing courage, and you're one of the people that I've thought about because I know you're one of the most courageous people I know. But I would love for people to understand how you see yourself through all the things you've been through. So first of all, just introduce yourself.
Sure. My name's Julie Strople, and I live here in Park City. I've got 3 kids, married, and work from home. I've got a big fluffy dog who keeps me.
I love
uh,
He's so cute.
all's good. Yeah.
Wonderful. All right. The first question I want to ask you is, do you see yourself as courageous?
That's such an interesting question because I've been thinking about it. And first, my gut response would be no.
Mhm.
Um, because as a mom and a wife, and you just kind of do the things you're supposed to do. You don't think of them in the moment as being courageous or brave or putting yourself out there. You just kind of just do what you have to do. But then I think when you look back in retrospect, you can be like, okay, well that did take some guts to just go for that or whatever. But I don't know. It's weird. I mean, I guess we're all hard on ourselves, but at first glance, I would say no.
Mhm. And explain more about how you've been strong, because this is exactly why I wrote the book 100 Hearts, is because I realized that the clients I was coaching were so courageous but never saw it in themselves, and I'm really curious about that. And through that process, I didn't see myself as courageous either. And I think this is a theme that we're dealing with, that maybe if you don't see yourself as courageous, would you look back into your life and think of all the things that you've overcome and when you've been resilient or strong or brave? I'm going to ask you this question. Was that just a coincidence, or was that just survival, or were you courageous in some of those stories? And share maybe one or two things that you've been through that
Yeah, sure.
were
Um, Yeah, so I think, like you're saying, if you look back at different situations now that you've been through it, I think you can kind of take a different stance on it. I guess the biggest example for me would be when I was diagnosed with cancer and just kind of had the time to reflect on life and family and work. And I just decided to make the leap of going from working for a full-time job for a company, for a CPA firm, to just working on my own, going independently, leaving that safety net behind. Um, at the moment, like I said, I didn't feel courageous because it was just like what made sense for my family. And I kind of like what I knew I needed to do.
Mhm.
But now looking back, I'm like, wow, that was actually, it was a leap. It was a big leap to just go, okay, I'm going to go for this and we're going to make it work. Um, so I think you're right. I think so many of us discount what we've done. Um, I don't know. I don't know why we do that, but we do.
It's an interesting conversation, isn't it? And I want to highlight, like you, that when we start to see that we have been courageous, it allows us to be more confident and to go for that unknown space that you went for, where you did have to be courageous. You didn't know what was going to happen. You'd never been there before, and you took a leap of faith. The more we see that we've been courageous, it builds. We have a little more confidence to, you know what, I can go into that uncomfortable place and face the fear of it and push past it. And that's really where we can grow, where new opportunities exist. And the more that we all do that, the more that we can inspire others to do the same. And, isn't that what life is about, is facing these unknown things that are daunting, or going places we didn't think we could go, to grow
Mhm.
and be the best possible version of ourselves.
Definitely true. It's definitely true. And it teaches people so much when they see you go for it, and to have my kids see me go for it, and just, not just not just accept what has happened, just like make a change for yourself. And it's not easy, but we all go through it. I think at different points in our lives, we just don't really realize it.
Yes, yes. And I think that's also an important message that we're all in this together. We can't get out of this life without having to be challenged or go through difficult times or pain or adversity. And how do we get through them and show each other, I've done it, you can do it. And, you might even come out better. You
Yeah,
might
oh,
learn
sure.
something. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think so often change is super uncomfortable, and we drag our feet in the process of, and then in the end, we're like, oh my, why didn't I do that a long time ago?
I know.
It was like the best thing. But it's the fear of just making it happen. We stop and we think and we overthink and we drag our feet and we and ha. And yeah, and then in retrospect, we're like, oh, that was the best decision ever.
I know. I know. And if we could just help others do that, I think, and other people can help us do that and realize that, it's not as difficult as you think. And, that whole statistic of 98% of what we fear never really happens.
Mhm.
It's hysterical.
Yeah, especially like all the things you think of at 2 a.m. Those never happen.
Exactly. No. Yeah. It keeps you from your sleep, all kinds of things.
Exactly.
So this is really a great, I love your how honest you are about this. And I do hope that just even this conversation and being part of the group, that, you can start to look at things you've been through as really being courageous. But here's the second question that we're going to get to. If is there something that you would do that you haven't yet, if you chose courage over doubt or fear?
I mean, it's choosing courage over doubt always is going to take you to a better place, I think. Because it's going to push you to strive for more, to do that next thing that you think is too hard.
Mhm.
And it's going to make you a better person. You're going to learn from it, whether you fully succeed or it's just a learning process. It's going to make you a better person overall.
Yeah.
Are you asking for something specific?
Is there anything in your life, I mean, that you've been thinking of, like, I kind of have a doubt or a fear about this, and what if you chose courage over that doubt or that fear? Is there something
Right.
that you would do? And you don't have to answer it if you don't know, but
Yeah, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but I think I think, and I always tell my kids, don't let fear hold you back. I mean, what if, I'll hear them say, well, what if such and such happens? I'm like, well, what if such and such happens? I mean, I'm such a half full glass kind of looking at thing person.
yes,
I look at all those positives that could come out of something, not all the negatives. And so, yeah, I think that's definitely my outlook. It's like, what if everything was amazing because you did this?
oh, Julia, so great. I mean, I know you, I've seen you do that. You're such an inspiration and a great example for your children and everyone around you. And you really do give back to our community, and you do live your life that way. I love what you do with your business, and with your dog, and how you use your dog as a service animal for others. You really are living a life of inspiration, and I see that you do choose courage. So I hope that our conversation, our interview today, inspires others that are listening, and also that maybe you see yourself as, just have a word to what you've been demonstrating, and that is being courageous. And
Thank
yes, thank you. And I really appreciate you sharing with us.
Absolutely. It was fun.
Okay, thanks, Julie. Have a
Yeah.
great day.
Thanks, you too.
Appreciate you. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.